Breaking news, folks. We've just uncovered a surprising shift in Carnival Adventures 2027 and 2028 schedules. And if you're cruising out of Sydney, this could definitely impact your plans. Hey friends, it is Matt here from Deb and Matt Chat, and while Deb's off screen today, I've got all the latest details. We've been diving into Port Authority schedules, official berth calendars, so even some port movement logs, and what we're seeing is raising a lot of questions. So let's chat about it. Carnival Adventure is scheduled to depart Sydney on May 27, 2027. Now, that alone wouldn't be unusual. We already know what her itinerary is up to that point because Carnival obviously have bookings open until then at this stage. But what is unusual is that she doesn't reappear on the Sydney schedule until August 2nd. That's a gap of, let me break this down, 9 weeks and 6 days, just shy of 10 weeks, without any listed arrival in Sydney. Let's sit on that for a second. That's not a standard repositioning cruise time frame. It's not a routine dry dock window, at least not one that's been previously advertised, and she's not listed, as far as we can see during that period, in any other Australian cruise port. No Brisbane, no Melbourne, no Adelaide, Fremantle, and I even checked Auckland. Now, we do have to understand here that not every cruise port and cruise port authority publishes their schedules that far out, and sometimes the information that they do publish that far out can be a little bit patchy, but she's not there. Now, I did even go and check Cairns before you ask, just thought I'd check, and she pops up there on August 17, but that's after she's returned to Sydney, so it would appear that that's just part of her normal post-return itinerary that's going to be announced. So if we then fast forward to 2028, the mystery deepens a little, not a lot. We kind of know something. Carnival Adventure is scheduled to leave Sydney again on January 29, 2028, and she's off the radar in Sydney until March 17. That's about 6 weeks and 6 days without a scheduled appearance in Sydney. And once again, during that absence, she doesn't appear in very many locations, except for one very interesting spot. Enter Melbourne. On January 31st, 2028, Carnival Adventure arrives in Melbourne, and between then and February 25, she's going to be completing 8 sailings, all listed on the Vic Port's schedule. So roughly around about 4 weeks, she's going to be calling Victoria and the Port of Melbourne home. It's not a huge season, but definitely a little mini home porting stint there. Now, we have to give a huge shout out to Amy from Cruise Craze Fam. She's been digging deep into this, and she's the one that actually let us know that it appeared that Carnival Adventure was going to be going to Melbourne. Definitely check out her video that she's doing where she's discussed Carnival Adventure and what the sailings might look like out of Melbourne. So do go and check that one out at the end of this, because we still have some important things to discuss. So what's notable really is that first bit that I discussed, her disappearance in mid-2027. Carnival Adventure, she's not showing up anywhere else domestically. This really doesn't seem like a repositioning period to another city. This is completely disappeared, a complete disappearance at this stage from our shores. Where's she going? That's the big question. And what are the ramifications of this? Because for Sydney, it's one less ship for a significant period of time departing out of there. So, theories, let's dive in. I've got some ideas. We've received messages from people over the last month or two since Carnival announced that they had cancelled the itineraries for late May and June 2027 that had already been advertised and sold previously. one question we've received is, could this be dry dock maintenance? Look, I struggle to believe that one. We know that she is due for refurbishment in Singapore in early 2027, and from there she is then going down to Melbourne for a brief stint. So maybe this is a follow-up fit out or enhancement period. Who really knows? It's a bit hard to say. It could be a second phase to that dry dock period, but yeah, it seems unlikely. Theory 2, and this is something that some people have been in contact with us about as well and suggested, is the possibility that Carnival Adventure or Carnival Encounter, one of the two former P&O ships, could actually be going to the US and making an appearance over there. Could this happen? I don't really know. I'm not 100% convinced that this is a possibility. But as has been pointed out, these are very unique ships for the Carnival fleet, and things like the Byron Beach Club provide a very unique offering for a market like the US. So maybe they are going to do a stint. We do know, for example, that Princess are doing the Circle the Pacific itinerary in 2027. So maybe they're looking at doing something like that. Maybe demand's been high. 10 weeks, that's about enough time for something like a round Pacific adventure, or maybe she's even going to do a short stint up in Asia. Theory number 3, and this is the one that I think's most likely. I did mention this in one of our live streams a few weeks back, and that's the potential return of the Aussie Explorer itinerary. So this was a very popular itinerary in the P&O days. The ships would do a midwinter voyage and kind of circle around Australia. And I think this is the most likely outcome, even though we're not seeing port schedules include Carnival Adventure at this stage. But we do know that cruise fans have expressed that they're missing this. They would like to have that option again now that the ships have changed over to Carnival. So maybe we could see a return of the Aussie Explorer itinerary. The timing wise, I think this kind of fits. You could maybe get 2 of the more extended, maybe even 3 slightly shortened circlings of Australia during this period of time. I think it could be that. Or has the Carnival Cauldron got something new, something entirely different thought out? I mean, we've checked itineraries. I've been and even looked at the New Zealand port schedule for Auckland. Didn't see anything listed there either. So maybe they do. Maybe Carnival actually have something very unique and different brewing. So what does it mean for you? Well, if you are a Sydney-based cruiser, these gaps mean fewer sailings and limiting the availability of sailing options in mid-2027 and again in early 2028 when Carnival Adventure goes down to Melbourne. But if you're a Melbourneian, you really get to be excited about this. Clearly, they've been listening to you, and you're going to get another taste of home porting and home port cruising with a brief, yes, it's brief, season in early 2028, following off the short stint post dry dock in 2027. That's a win for Victorian cruise lovers who often miss out on these deployments, particularly with a number of cruise ships and cruise lines pulling out of Melbourne in recent years due to controversy around a number of factors, including the higher port fees, but also the fact that the winter period months down there really don't lend themselves to cruising too well. So what is next? The truth is we really don't have all the answers yet, but we're watching the port calendars and the cruise schedules. We're keeping our eyes peeled for any industry announcements very closely. And as soon as Carnival drops more information, you can bet we will be back here to break it all down. So the real question is here, where do you think Carnival Adventure is going to go in mid-2027 when she has this period? Will it be dry dock? Could it be a US visit? Could she be getting a brand new itinerary, something we haven't seen before? Or is the Aussie Explorer itinerary coming back? drop down into the comments section and tell us what you think. What are your theories? Whether they're sensible or your wildest ones, we want to hear them. Drop them in the comments section below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, tap the notification bell so you get notifications whenever we drop a new video. And don't forget to give this video a like and thumbs up, because that way you will always hear breaking news when it comes. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm Matt from Deb and Matt Chat, and whether Deb's here or not, we will always keep you cruising smarter. Thanks for chatting with me today, and we will see you in the next video.